All right, as mentioned, on Monday, Governor Brad Little will address the legislature and the people of Idaho in his third State of the State address. On this day, 20 years ago, another governor was giving his third State of the State address. Governor Dirk Kempthorne was in his first of 2 terms, and wouldn't you know it, the top topics back then haven't really changed much in Idaho. The State of the State 2 decades ago in this 208 Redial.
This is Lee McGuire. One issue dominating the day is education.
I think Idaho schools are a winner here today. Actually, education in all areas was a winner here today.
The governor says schools need tougher standards for mathematics with more accountability and better instruction. A good idea, but possibly too ambitious, says Minority Leader Wendy Jakewood.
It takes a long time. I don't know whether we can meet his deadline. And we've already really disrupted the schools as far as training is concerned. I agree with the accountability. It just might be too fast.
But Republican John Sandy says the state should certainly try boosting math standards in schools.
Well, I'm not much of a naysayer. I say if you're going to be a naysayer, let's not even start. Who says we don't have time to do it? Let's give it a run and give it a try.
The governor also says better education or better rehabilitation is needed in the prison system, an idea Democrats praise.
I think that the decision he's made about the prison, he really needs to be commended for that.
But Kempthorne also said he'll turn down a request for another new men's prison. Republicans warn even though rehab should help in the long term, we could see overcrowding now.
I am concerned about that because that's one area that it will take a little while for that to kick in.
Another big issue today, the growing problems in Idaho's rural economy. It's where Kempthorne's aimed much of his tax relief plan, but we won't know more about that until Wednesday.
So no, it won't satisfy everyone, but I think by and large it does satisfy the majority.
You know, I mean, he brought it up, so let's see what happens on Wednesday. If he comes through with it, then it'll be great. If that's where the rubber hits the road, I guess.
Well, it's nice seeing some of those faces again, huh? Well, so let's take a look back at those issues that Lee McGuire highlighted 20 years ago, starting with education. Governor Kempthorne wanted exit standards for high school and 90% of third graders reading by 2004. We never really got there. Despite the effort in the establishment of the Idaho Standards Achievements Test, or the ISAT, back in 2004, reading has really never been Idaho's strong suit. According to Nation's report card, the number of kids reading at basic level by third grade topped out at 70% in 2007, got a little bit close to that before that, but has hovered below that mark ever since. Math, meanwhile, we've done a little bit better. 2005 saw its highest gains in achievement than any other year. That year, math was more than 4.5% higher than the national average for fourth graders, with 86% of Idahoans at or above basic levels. Unfortunately, we've dropped since then into the lower 80s. How about prisons? Well, Kempthorne said in his speech that year he was given a recommendation to build a new prison every 2 years for the foreseeable future. Imagine that. If that were the case, we would have had 10 new prisons added since then. Well, he wasn't going to do that, saying simply warehousing people wasn't the solution. Other than the South Boise Women's Correctional Center, which was already planned and opened in the spring of 2002, we've only had one state correctional facility built since that speech, the Correctional Alternative Placement Program in the summer of 2010. Okay, so what about the reference to rural communities and agriculture? Kempthorne appointed a family farm security task force that year that was supposed to review laws and regulations to improve conditions in the industry. Also that session, farm workers were extended federal minimum wage in Idaho for the first time thanks to House Bill 71, which was signed into law in March of 2001. It went into effect January the next year, and back then it was $5.15 an hour. The minimum wage now, $7.25 an hour, and has been that way since 2009.